Welcome back, YouTube. I'm with another interview. This one's I'm like intrigued by. I'm here with Jabari Higgs. He's a senior at Rutgers Track and Field. How are you today, sir?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. I've been trying to get to this one. I told the people on Instagram they tune in for this one. So they're expecting this one to drop tonight, which it will be. We can get right into it. They don't know that you started at St. Pete's first. How did that come about? Like, how did you get into there?
It's actually kind of funny. So, I was a basketball and football guy.
Okay.
No, I mean, I ran track when I was probably in middle school, but all through high school was basketball and football.
Right.
And I just so happened not to get any taller or bigger. So, schools weren't reaching out. It was getting kind of tight. And one of my friends who actually was going to school for football decided to join the track team to get faster for football. And I thought, you know what, why not join as well? So I went out my junior year and I joined the track team, and I had a pretty decent year. But um, it's also ironic because my dad is a track coach. He's a jumps coach. So I started working with him over the summer. And then, my senior year, I had a pretty decent year, but I got hurt. So I also didn't know about the recruiting process. And one of my friends committed to St. Peter's. And I just asked him, like, how did you get in there? And he kind of sent me the coach's information. And I committed the day I graduated high school.
Okay, I like that. That's a good feeling right there to know
Yeah,
you committed the day you graduated. So that's a nice little wave you can ride, all through the summer going
yeah.
into it. So another thing I want to get into, so you at St. Pete's, you're doing your thing there, putting up crazy numbers. I believe you was like freshman, I want to say in a year or something like that. Yeah, so you riding the wave, stuff like that. So when did you know you had what it takes to go to like Rutgers to make that jump up?
It was actually my sophomore year when I realized I had what it takes. And it was kind of late in the year. So my freshman year is when COVID happened for outdoor season. Because track has an indoor and outdoor season. And we get to have an outdoor season. And I found out that athletes get an extra year of eligibility due to COVID. It's called a COVID year. So
Yeah.
um, that was when I kind of realized, after being freshman field performer of the year, it was kind of like I wanted more for myself, and that wasn't like the end all be all spot I wanted to land at. So I kind of just stayed to myself as far as my workouts. I would do a little bit extra than what my teammates were doing. I made sure everything was good in the classroom, and yeah, that's pretty much what it was. Competing. Um, there was definitely some competition in the MAC. Don't get me wrong, there's definitely some competition. But I felt like, as for me, how I wanted to develop as a long jumper, I felt like I needed more and kind of just like venture out to a different
Okay.
school.
Now, I saw that while you was you're still at Rutgers, but in your journey at Rutgers, you competed at the Pens Relays. Can you talk a little bit of that experience? But people don't know the Pens Relays is the big deal, the big dogs. That's where the USA teams be running the best of the best. So how did that make you feel? Did you have any nerves before you jumped, or talk to me a little bit about that?
Definitely. So I would say it's definitely different from jumping in high school at parent relays. Usually the atmosphere is much more exciting, so to speak, in high school
Mm-hmm.
because it's a big stadium. It's kind of like the first time you're jumping in front of like a big crowd. But college, it was more so like you compete against these guys. You compete against everybody across the country almost every meet, especially in like a Power Five school. So it wasn't much of what I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be just as exciting as high school, but kind of just like another meet to me, pretty
Okay.
much.
That's good.
Yeah.
Now, what do you look to accomplish? Because this is your senior year. What do you think? What you trying to do to come out with a big bang? At what point this season do you think it's going to be a good season? What do you got to do?
As far as having a good season, really just staying consistent in what I'm doing right now. Getting faster and stronger, obviously. Definitely focusing on what I can do mentally to keep me, prepared for each meet and kind
Right.
of just, one meet at a time. I'm not really looking to put a number on anything that I'm trying to do this year. It's just more of like, making sure I'm prepared for each meet and then ride it out from there.
Okay, how do oh sorry. How does team chemistry mean to you? Because I looked on your Instagram and I saw that you a couple more athletes on your team did like a photo shoot type of thing. How does team camaraderie mean to you on the
Well,
team?
well, let me just start by saying I love my team. You know, that became like my second family outside of my regular family back at home.
Right.
Team chemistry to me is very important because it ties into performance really. Um, I can name a time where I wasn't feeling the best going into a meet, but my teammates picked me up. So yeah, as far as team chemistry and like that bond and brotherhood, sisterhood,
Mm,
it's really, I'll say it's really important.
okay. Now, when I was doing my research, I noticed that I think Rutgers is in New Jersey, and you're actually a New Jersey native. So, how does that feel? Running at a big institution back home, so everybody can see.
It's pretty much to me, Rutgers is like home outside of home. It's not too far away from my house. I can go home whenever I want, but Rutgers is also its own place, its
Right.
own pretty much college town. So I never feel as though I'm back at home,
Right.
but I'm at home. So it's like, it's good.
Okay. Okay. Last question I gotta ask you. We're gonna get
Okay.
into the last couple questions. Now, people don't know. I mean, they will know when they start following you after this, but they don't know. You got a huge NIL deal. You want to talk about this Crocs deal? This is crazy. Crocs is a huge thing now. It's the wave now. How does that make you feel that you're a spokesperson?
It was honestly, it was different, you know, especially for an athlete. You don't suspect them to get a deal with Crocs. Usually it'd be like some type of sports brand, Nike, Adidas, Puma, whatever the case may be.
Right.
When I dropped the Crocs video, everybody was just like, "Whoa, like that's
That's
different
crazy.
from an athlete," because and then it just, you know, it kind of just had everybody thinking like, you know what? Aside from wearing, my athletic sweatsuit or my spikes and my shoes, when
Right.
I'm done out or when I'm done competing, I put on Crocs. So it was just like it was definitely different, but I think it kind of sparked interest in other athletes, wanting to, partner up with these outside brands. Not necessarily outside, like it's still a popular brand, but
Right.
outside normal athletic brand. So it definitely was.
Because after seeing that, I mean, I'm nothing against Crocs. I just don't wear them. But now after seeing that, I might have to break down and join the wave now with Crocs and stuff like that. Do you want to talk about your other one? Now, people don't know this. You told me this was a little hush hush, but do you want to talk about it? I mean, the Adidas one.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So I got selected to run a campaign with Adidas, back to school campaign. So pretty much what it is they sent me like their fall line, and it's pretty much for promotional purposes. And yeah, I mean it's big to me considering that my school is Adidas.
Right.
So definitely something that I'm looking forward to as far as the video shoot and the photo shoot. Um, yeah, and hopefully it takes me somewhere even bigger.
That's good. Now, to close out this interview, for people to know to watch my channel, I give my athletes the floor to talk about any topic that means something to them. So this is the time if you want to talk about anything you want to talk about right now.
Um, I mean, I know everybody has their own journey in college sports, period, not even just track. But what I will say is definitely cherish every single year you have in college as an athlete. A lot of people don't realize that last year that you're in school, you always think about the first year you're in school and how, you know, you could have done more.
Right.
So it's like, for me, I would say, just cherish everything, take everything in, and, understand that once you graduate,
Right.
I mean, we don't have the same luxuries as we do now.
Mm.
So make sure, you're setting everything up for yourself in the future, but also taking in what you have now. So,
Well, this was such an interesting and intriguing interview. I want to thank Mr. Jabari Higgs for taking the time out of his busy schedule, sitting down with me, talking with me and my viewers. They much appreciate it. Like I said, they're gonna be hitting you up on Instagram, stuff like that, because the NIL deals bring something crazy to the table. So everybody stay tuned, like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in another interview.